That if you have an idea, you have a vision, go for it. Don't ever let anyone say to you that it cannot be done. I need my wine.
I was born and bred in St. Vincent. I'm a Vincentian national, but I'm living abroad. I still maintain that I'm a Vincentian, even though I'm living in England. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here, brothers and sisters, we are here on a cultural and educational exchange visit. And of course, as we are concerned ourselves in England with youth and youth development and all the aspect that goes with it, we decide that it will be appropriate for us to come on stage and offer to rendition.
My name is Bilal Amin, originally Othniel Wendell Jack. I came from St. Vincent and the Grenadines. I'm the director and founder of the Caribbean Development Foundation, which is now known as the Africa Caribbean Development Foundation. The organization was started in 1982, but prior to that I did a lot of youth and community development work in St. Vincent as a teenager, then in Holland as a musician, and then in the United Kingdom. I first entered youth activities in the UK when I worked for an organization by the name of Roots in Oxford in the UK. And from there I got sort of involved in what youth activities were like in the UK and what young people was not what young people did not have access to in UK. And this sort of inspired me to get involved in the work that I've done now for the last 25 years.
Well, it's just sort of coincidental that I was head of the youth program in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, heading the youth office in St. Vincent. I was the first youth officer in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and youth exchange, organizing youth exchange and participating in youth exchanges was part of the program that we developed. And it's just coincidental that CDF then, now ACDF, was managed and started by Bilal, who is my brother. So I think it was just natural that we connected in relation to developing youth exchanges. And CDF organized its first exchange to St. Vincent, which I was fortunate to be the in-country partner organization responsible for the local program.
But for me, the highlight of that trip was how the young people, how it affected the young people that took that trip. Because most of the young people, if I remembered it, were of Caribbean parentage, but many of them have never visited the Caribbean. And so it was like new to them as well.
They were born in the UK.
UK born. Mm-hmm. But they were shocked because I think they may have had some preconceived idea about the Caribbean. Mm-hmm. And St. Vincent was quite developed at the time. And so young people were kind of surprised with the architecture and the roads, because they maybe what they saw of the Caribbean was, bad roads and mud huts and stuff, but there was electricity, there was showers, there was everything, and they really, really enjoyed it. And that's what from that trip, I just felt that there was something in youth exchanges.
And then Sam later on became a very key member of ACDF management, and in terms of helping to develop the direction of the organization and so on. So you had people like Sam Nelson, Alfred Webley, who became part of that management of the organization in the early stages. So there's this particular Vincentian guy who was the drummer, and him and I became good friends. And then he introduced me to a number of people in High Wycombe. But one of the key persons that he introduced me to was a gentleman by the name of Alfred Webley, who was the race relation advisor for High Wycombe. And then I started doing voluntary work with him, going to his office, sort of getting a sense of what's going on in the community in terms of racism and in terms of equal opportunities for young black people and so forth and so on.
And I believe that that young people need to look at their heritage, our heritage, the heritage of other country, and looking at diversity. Because diversity is important right across the globe. Cultural diversity is important. And some of them doesn't really understand their own cultural background or where they're coming from. And you need to know where you're coming from to know where you're going.
We've just seen one of our friends there from London with something in his hand that looks like a breadfruit, but I know that it is not a breadfruit. Can you just shed some light on it for our viewers?
This is a calabash. It was used, they still use it as containers, but what has happened is that modern technology has caught up with the populace, especially in the country, and plastic containers are the things that are popular now. But at one time, those were the containers that were used for lots of things.
I set up a dance group for young people, young children between the ages of 7 to 14, and I set up a folk music choir for young people between the age of 16 and above. I then decided to call the group Asafo, and we had Asafo is a Ghanaian word which I got from a book about Africa. It's a Ghanaian word and it means to dance.
But it just sort of gave us a sense of identity.
Yeah.
And I think it made us very more focused. I think
focused,
it was
definitely.
Driven, dedicate, you
had to be all of that.
Yeah, you did. You had to learn to be dedicated.
Because you'd have to practice your songs and
commitment,
the dance.
All of those
yeah.
things at 14, 15 and 16.
16-year-olds wasn't doing that at that time.
I mean, like a lot of the parents weren't our parents weren't able to like pay for extra like singing lessons or drama lessons or things like that. So it was something affordable that we could do. And it was nice.
Very shortly after we created the group Asafo, it became extremely popular and was playing all over London. Most of the festivals that took place in Brent, in Hackney Shoreditch Show, the Shaw Theatre, Asafo was there playing and performing both folk and dance and so on.
No, I think, personally, I think it's a very good thing.
Yeah, I think
to be able to look back and
look back.
Yeah, it is. Because it's easy to forget. With whatever journey you take in life, whatever life throws at you, sometimes you forget
where you're coming from.
How it all started from, and
so this is a good reminder.
So this,
it was nice to have something to look forward to. As a young person, away from school, away from that kind of lifestyle into something that was different, because not a lot of people you speak about it and not a lot of people would know folk group. What's a folk group?
A lot of people don't know folk music is the basis of all Caribbean music.
That's right.
That's
where it stemmed from.
Yes.
And then also folk music. Almost every country has its own folk music.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
In places like Wales and so forth, folk music is celebrated a lot in Wales and Ireland.
That's right.
I ask you all to do one last.
No, but I don't know.
Balance.
I can't
remember. Let me remember. Come on,
balance.
Oh, day, oh, see them girl a balance. Oh, day, oh, see them girl a balance.
And if we all stand by and watch them be closer. We are surely guilty for that one. Now your turn, come on. Oh, beautiful, I love you. I love St. Vincent. I love my brothers and sisters.